So we give tours to approximately 41,000 people every year. Our busiest months are the months of July and August, during which a lot of families are visiting colleges with prospective students. In fact, over 90% of our visitors are prospective students of MIT and their families. And in this sense, the tours for a lot of people are, if not their first impression of MIT, one of their only impressions of MIT. So even if these students do go on to get admitted and become students here, it's oftentimes sort of their introduction to the school and what it means to be an MIT student and what it means to go to school here. And sort of gives an idea as to how important the tours are for sort of forming people's outward impressions of the school, and also in terms of correcting the popular misconceptions and such that MIT is often labeled with.
So, for example, when I was looking at MIT as a school, I pictured it as a place where people did science and engineering all the time and no one really had any fun or even smiled. And really nothing could be farther from the truth. So in my tours, I really like to show people the MIT sense of humor and also to talk a lot about student life and show that there's much more to MIT than just academics.
So tour guides are sort of a self-selected group of people. We don't actually advertise for tour guides. Pretty much all of our guides became part of our group by just word of mouth from other tour guides. We have people from all different departments, all different majors, people who do all sorts of different kinds of activities outside of class.
And what's cooler is that everyone who does everything is incredibly passionate about it. And one role that we have as tour guides is to share our passions with prospective students. So I talk a lot about my experience on the wrestling team and about how that's really been such a great thing for me to do in addition to my academics and help balance that out. But my fellow tour guides will talk about theater, they'll talk about arts, they'll talk about music. And I think that's one thing that's so great about having such a diverse set of tour guides is we really represent all the different range of interests that students have across the Institute, so we can really give people a well-rounded perspective.
So right now we are standing in Lobby 7. This is actually where a lot of our tours depart. So this is actually one of my favorite places of MIT, and it's a place that I really actually love talking to people about when I give my tours. This is also normally where I talk about the history of MIT because this is where the replica of the MIT seal is, and also this is where our information office is. So a lot of our tours will definitely stop through here, and I think this provides a very good starting point for a lot of tours. It provides a good way of dividing the campus into two sides, one side that's very residential and the other side that's completely academic. Alright, so if you want to head this way, the next stop on our tour is going to be Killian Court. So this is actually another one of my favorite places at MIT, and if you've ever been on MIT's website or if you've ever seen a postcard of MIT, you've probably seen this shot.
So one of my favorite parts of the tour is the ability to sort of tell a few stories about MIT's history, whether they be about our campus itself or some of our famous hacks or things like that. I think it adds sort of another dimension to the tour and really gets the group involved with the tour itself. And it's not just like you're just pointing out landmarks and giving out random trivia. It's also, you're sort of involving them in a little piece of the MIT experience.
So now we're going to go ahead and talk about athletics. This building right next to me over here is the Z Center, MIT's main athletic facilities. We actually have 33 different varsity sports, which is the most out of any Division III institution in the country. And we have everything from field hockey and football to water polo and fencing.
A lot of people think that MIT's nerdy or that everybody just studies all the time and doesn't do anything else. And it's really great when I can give a tour to somebody and I can just watch them change, like as I'm talking to them, and watch their self-confidence rise as I tell them, what I looked like when I was in high school. And I really think that that's one of the best parts about being a tour guide, is that you really get to change the way people see MIT.
One thing that's cool about being a tour guide is every single tour you give, you're going to be with a different group of people, and so you really get a sense of the number of people who are interested in MIT. We can literally have 300 students signed up for one tour, and we'll fill up the entire main lobby of MIT, and we'll have 15 different tour guides there, and we'll have to divide up all the group of people into different ones and organize it, and it can be a little bit of a logistics challenge. So it's kind of fun, and it really does give you a sense of MIT's place in the world and just how lucky we are to be here.